Okay, so hello, welcome to Heart of Worship Online, our first topic, our first series on really addressing the subject, what is worship? Now, this is big, this is a big subject, and I don't know if you can feel it. I can feel it through the camera here, the weight, the heaviness of this subject, but I'm excited to unpack it with you. So what is worship? Before we dive in really deep into what the Bible says about worship, I think we need to address, firstly, who we are as human beings. I mean, we know, biblically speaking, that God has created everything. He is the creator and sustainer of all things. And as human beings, we are part of His creation. And so I want to begin really this series with a premise. And I think it's important for us to understand what worship is. And the premise is this, that every human being worships because every human being was designed to worship. Now you might be thinking, okay, Pete, what does that mean? Well, if we go back to the beginning in Genesis, the creation account, God, the triune God, is creating. His creation is good. It is beautiful. And then God decides to do something very, very special. And He makes the first man, Adam. And there's this conversation that is taking place in Genesis 1 where God says, let us make man in our image. And so this is where we get the doctrine, the teaching of the image of God, or the Imago Dei. As Christians, we believe in the doctrine of the image of God, that every human being is created in the image of God. And so the Bible, Scripture, is full of the truth that creation, God's creation, His handiwork, it reflects His glory. But I think we need to understand, as we dive into this topic, that as human beings, we have been created uniquely. We are image bearers. So we are, in comparison to the rest of creation, unique. There is a big difference because God has actually placed His image in us. So what does that mean, that we're image bearers? Well, God has made us, He's given us a body, He's given us a mind, and He's given us a soul. He's given us a body to create and to cultivate, to work hard, to reflect His image in the sense that we can create things, we can engineer things as human beings, and that's unique to all of creation. He's also given us a mind to discern. He's given us the intellect. Human history is full of brilliant minds, image bearers. I mean, I think of like Newton, I think of great scientists and mathematicians and engineers and philosophers. God has given us the mind to discern, and He's also given us a soul. And really, that's the most important part of who we are as human beings, the soul that will live on into eternity even after death. And so God has created us in His image in the sense that like Him we can create, like Him we can think, we can discern, and like Him we will live on in eternity. And hopefully we will live on in eternity in His presence in heaven with Him because of receiving the gift of grace through Jesus Christ by faith. But that's another subject. The point is, we are unique to all creation as human beings in that we are given the image of God. We are image bearers. So there is nowhere else in creation that you will see anything comparable to humankind. And so I want us to understand that before we dive into this grand, massive subject. As human beings, we are created in the image of God, and we are designed, we are hardwired to worship Him.